declaration of pilots as being multi-role capable is a truly significant step in the development of this remarkable aircraft.
Once again, everybody, good morning. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for your introduction. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers of this seminar very much for being invited a second time. I had the pleasure to be here 2 years ago, and I was really impressed about that, what I saw here in Bangalore on the air show, but first of all, about the quality of this seminar. And I was also surprised last night when I arrived at 2 o'clock in the morning when I saw the new airport here. Really, really impressive. So the vast pace of progress in this region is something what you really see and what you can feel. I would like to congratulate the community here for this tremendous success in that region. And of course, again, coming back to the success of this seminar. And I'm proud to talk to you here this morning on behalf of a community, the Eurofighter Typhoon community, which is not just industry. I'm here for the Eurofighter industry, which means 4 big companies in Europe who are the shareholders of this company, and more than 400 smaller companies. And on the other side, I'm standing here as a member of this community where we have 4 core nations. That altogether creates a partnership, and we have heard about partnership during the speech of my predecessor, a global partnership, which is another step, but this program is based on partnership. And I tried to figure that out 2 years ago when I was here, and today I would like to talk about perspectives and trends in technology, and you allow me please that I do that against the background of our program, of our business, for one simple reason. If we would not have taken care, if we would not have really paid attention to that what is current and future trends in technologies, what are the perspectives, we would never have survived. So, reflecting about trends and perspectives and trends in technologies against the background of the Eurofighter Typhoon program is just one piece. It belongs to each other, and that all is based on a true partnership. I thought, when the topic is, as I just mentioned, perspectives and trends, and in particular trends, it is absolutely logic, and it goes without saying that we talk about capable systems and more increased performance of the systems. That is, of course, something what our customers are always looking for, because with our product they have to go to war. And they want to accomplish a successful mission, and they want to have their troops back home safely. So that we have to deliver improved systems is something which goes without saying, and here we have to, of course, we have to think about the most modern systems and technologies which are available. But when you read here on top of this slide that the customer is specifying his requirements, and we try to do our very best to respond to that, to these challenges, it is not only talking about higher, more capable systems, more performance in the systems. We always have to think about the reduction of fleet sizes. That is also a trend, ladies and gentlemen. We also have to take into consideration that procurement to budget is something that plays a major role. And one very important step to realize this is, of course, partnership and international in-service cooperation. Partnership and in-service cooperation is something what we had to learn from the very first moment in this program. 2 years ago, I sat here on the other side of this podium. Eurofighter Typhoon is truly, and don't get me wrong when I'm saying that again, is truly a poor man's approach. We had to work in partnership, not just among the industrial partners, but also with our 4 core nations, our 4 core customers. We had to do this from the very first moment on in partnership, just because we could not afford spending all this huge amount of money in developing a type of aircraft, fighter aircraft, what we have here, just on the pace of one nation. And that also is standing as a trend, which is already a little bit older, but this trend is becoming more and more reality and is demanding more and more from all of us. So I think, yes, it is right to talk about technologies, but when we talk about the trends and the perspectives in our business, we have to take into considerations that we need more capable products, but that we also have to find ways how to realize that, how to satisfy the demands of our customers worldwide, globally. That is what our program approach is standing for. That is Eurofighter Typhoon. That is partners in the loop, customers in the loop, doing things together, managing the risks. That does not mean that we forget who has what kind of responsibility in such an approach. That's not the case. But it really, to our understanding and to our experience, it is the number one answer to manage the challenges in this business. And that means something when we talk about trends and perspectives. Multi-role. Smaller fleets lead to less costs for doing the job. What you see here on this slide is that Eurofighter is replacing not less than 11 type of fighter aircrafts in the past. A few of them a little bit older, a few of them quite up to date. Eurofighter is doing the job of 11 fighters in our communities, and that also encounters already the 2 export customers which we have already now in our program as partners, and that is Austria and Saudi Arabia. Swing role fighter, air-to-air, air-to-ground. You will hear in my presentation something about multi-role and swing role, and I will explain you in a minute what is really behind that. But if you want to be successful in this business, if you want to reflect the trends and the perspectives in such an approach, today you need to be able to deliver something which is called swing role, or sometimes also called multi-role. Also in this context, then, how much fleet efficiency do you get for the budget? Fleet efficiency in our understanding means the right balance between procurement costs, operating costs, and fleet performance. And the graph, what you see here, is not coming from us. It's based on a very well-known study from the RAND Corporation in the US, where they have done on this graph an analysis of how many aircraft do you need to do a certain job. That is missing here on this side of that graph, which is precisely number of aircraft to achieve the same fleet performance. That tells you something, first of all, in terms of capability of the aircraft to do the same job, but the other 2 points which I have mentioned here, i.e. the procurement costs and the operating costs, that is something what you have to put together in one basket to have the best answer to a requirement of today's customers. And what we say here is a small number of high-performance systems is less costly in operation than many more cheaper systems with much less capability. In operation, that is a very, very important element of that slide here. To procure a product is something costly, we know that. But to operate a product for the next 40 years, and that is the time scale of what we are thinking of, that is something what really makes the difference. So, having a capable aircraft, but not forgetting the operating costs on top of the procurement costs, is something what is quite important when you think about a fleet efficiency in comparison to the budgets you have. A few words about the product itself. I want to do that very quickly here. You have already heard yesterday something here in this direction. Eurofighter Typhoon is standing for air-to-air combat, for air-to-surface. Air-to-air combat means, of course, beyond visual range operations, close combat, and in the air-to-surface role, close air support, counter-air interdiction. It has also been designed for maritime attack, although today not yet in operation, but it has been designed for that, and for reconnaissance operations. And we just had in an evaluation flying in Switzerland for this export campaign where we are in a competition, we had to demonstrate the reconnaissance capability of our product. And to that, what we have heard so far from the Swiss customer, we did it quite well. A few performance data, of course, the speed is Mach 2 and plus 9 Gs, unstable airframe design, carefree handling. A very impressive gate here is the brakes, from brakes off to Mach 1.6 at 36,000 feet in 150 seconds. That tells you something about the performance and the two engines, two very capable engines which we have in our product. We have a highly integrated human-machine interface. From the very first moment when this product was designed, the very first moment, ladies and gentlemen, we had the pilots in the loop. And that is one of the reasons why pilots today who operate this product, they will tell you, if you would ask them, not from our side, they will tell you, this is made a fighter aircraft for pilots. So versatility and performance allows smaller fleets when you do it right. Sensor fusion. In today's wars, pilots have to manage a tremendous amount of information to do their job. To fly the aircraft itself and to handle the information they get when they fly the aeroplane. I think that is the smallest job they have to do. But to do their job, to accomplish a mission, a fighter mission, that demands today numerous sensors and the information which comes into the cockpit. And the pilot has to process, to handle this vast information package. That is something which needs intelligence. And to prepare that information mountain which is coming into the cockpit, so that the pilot can do his job in the best possible manner. If you want to do that, then you need a clever sensor fusion system. And that covers, first of all, the radar, that covers the IRST, the infrared search and track information. Here we have the ESM, the electronic support measures. We have the LDP capability, laser designator pod. All that comes together to a sensor fusion with constant 360 degrees spherical SA air-to-air and air-to-ground information. And that has to be managed. And we think that we have found quite a good solution in our product. At least that is the information and the feedback we have so far. That does not mean that we stop here with that what we have achieved so far. But believe me, sensor fusion is one of the real big goodies in this product. And that reflects the current trend in technologies which you have to have in your product if you want to be successful. You see here on the bottom of the page, joint performance insertion in steps reduces risks. With our product, we are always at the edge of modern technologies. So doing that, handling the most modern technologies means that you have to handle risks, that you have to find a way to install capabilities, technologies which are mature. One way of doing that is that you do not want to try to implement all singing, full dancing technologies which you have today on the horizon, but that you have the right balance between that, what is really modern, what gives you an advantage in comparison to others, and what is on the other hand manageable in terms of risks. Our answer to that was that we have installed in our products capabilities in steps. First of all, we had there that capability which was subsumized under the main development contract, which is concluded so far, that is done. We have delivered the air-to-air, the air-to-ground capability as a result of this main development contract, and what that means is what you can read here. We are combat ready for air-to-air, air-to-ground, multi-role. Carefree handling is a major part of that. Network-centric operations belongs to that. I could go on for the next 5 minutes in telling you what all belongs in terms of capabilities to that first step, but I didn't want to bother you with that. I would invite you to come to the air show to see our product there, and then you get all further information on that subject. We are working currently on the first phase of enhancements, the P1E as we call that, phase 1 enhancement, P1E. We want to deliver then, and we will deliver, a product which is today swing roll capable or multi-roll capable, and which will be able then to be swing roll capable simultaneously. That means when doing a mission air-to-air, for instance, or a kind of a mission air-to-air, you can do in parallel air-to-ground or other certain elements of air-to-air missions, and you can swing between one mission to the other mission. So you are not just set on one mission and then doing that mission and then go to the next mission. Swing roll means you can do this simultaneously, and that is another big step forward. We have on top of that capabilities like the fully integrated laser designator pod, the enhanced GBU 16 and Paveway 4. What are the next steps? We are currently proposing to our customer another package, the next phase of enhancements with more reach, and you can read here things like E-scan radar, the modern medium air-to-air missile, Meteor, Taurus, Storm Shadow, which are standoff weapons, supersonic paveway for small diameter bombs, Brimstone, and so on. And let me just highlight for a moment on E-scan, because you may think, why do they have E-scan in the next phase of enhancement and not today? Well, the answer for that is again our approach, which I just explained. Having a capability at the edge of that what you can have today in combination with a manageable risk. The current radar, the M-scan radar, what we have in Eurofighter, is to our understanding, at least until 2014-15, at least as capable as E-scan radar technologies available by then for operations, not for laboratories. That is something else. And this is a very good example to explain to you what our philosophy is. doing the next step with modern technologies, as long as they are modern, yes, but that you can manage the risks and that it really brings you something more in terms of operational capability. That is our philosophy. It reduces the risks by that cost, and it helps us to deliver schedule adherence. As I said, it's a principle. It belongs to this program, and so far, I think we have managed it quite well. At least that is the opinion of our customers. Here you see the program approach as such, which reflects, again, the stepwise approach. You see here first of all, the development activities, the main development contract, which is finished now, and the capability enhancements that is on top of this slide, which is going on now in phase 1, and a proposal is delivered for the next phase. We do also build, produce, deliver our aircraft, our product in tranches. We are just now, as I'm standing here, negotiating with our customer the final tranche, the tranche 3 of about another 236 aircraft. We have in delivery the 15 aircraft to Austria. In fact, we have already delivered 9 and further 6 to come this year, and we will start the deliveries to Saudi Arabia in June, July this year with the first product, with the first aircraft. And of course, the very important ILS or support activities is what you see on the bottom here of this slide. Recent achievements: type acceptance block 8, that means nothing else than the capability for the capability air-to-air, air-to-ground. Swing roll, as I described it before, that was the first step. That is what we have also achieved for the tranche 2 aircraft. That is what we call the block 8 here. It's a little bit complicated, I know that, but it was a major milestone last year to have that type acceptance done. The basic testing of the helmet assembly has been completed, and we demonstrated that in the evaluation campaign in Switzerland a couple of months ago, quite successfully. Tranche 2 weapons on radar testing is underway. Microwave landing system tests are completed. And we had long range flights over 6 hours. That is already a little bit longer ago, but the most recent long range flight was with our product done on a flight from Germany to Bangalore. We have 3 Eurofighters here for the air show. They arrived here a couple of days ago, quite successfully, with in-flight refueling, with a tanker aircraft and Airbus from the German Air Force. So another demonstration of the long-range capabilities. The phase 1 flight tests have started in 2008. The first flight of the Saudi Arabian aircraft was in October 2008, and the Air Force fleet have flown over 50,000 hours, and we have a test fleet which has flown more than 6,000 hours. That brings us close to 57,000 hours of flying the product, and believe me, that is not only meeting the customer requirements regarding their flying hours they have in their plans, it also tells you something about the reliability of this product. The production status: we have today delivered 167 aircraft. Also including these 167 aircraft are so-called 7 instrumented production aircraft and 1 for fatigue testing. The tranche 1 of 146 aircraft has completely been delivered. Tranche 2 is in deliveries. We have already 60 tranche 2 aircraft in the final assembly. There is one important sentence on the bottom here of this page, and that means production lines open for many years to come. Our production line is not somewhat threatened by being closing down within the next 4, 5, 6 or 7 years. That what we have today here, that this production line stays open for quite a while, means until 2020 and hopefully beyond that date because of successful exports. But for quite a while, production is ongoing. 10 Air Force units do operate Eurofighter today. I do not want to go through all the various bases here, but we have the first one in Spain, which was Moron. Grosseto in Italy, Zeltlich in Austria, Lage and Neuburg in Germany, Coningsby in UK. I think we have, with those 5 air forces already today, a unique in-service user group, and we are really proud that when you talk to our users, and we are not in the room, when you just talk to our users, what kind of judgment they give you, what kind of feedback you get from them, that is something where we are proud of. And that gives us again the confirmation that having our users, our customers, from the beginning on in the loop, that was the right decision. A few operating highlights in 08. I was talking already about the flying hours. All 5 air forces performed quick reaction alert duties since July 2008. The Royal Air Force declared, and you could see that in our little movie, 1st of July 2008, multi-role combat ready after a quite demanding exercise in the United States. The aircraft, our product, has taken part in various exercises like the Anatolian Eagle in Turkey, Spring Flag in Italy, Green Flag at Nellis in the US, and we had a big Typhoon meet in Muron also last year. And here is again the statement from Air Marshal Sir Clive Loader, who stated that the Eurofighter Typhoon, and I quote here, Eurofighter Typhoon, the most operationally flexible aircraft the Royal Air Force has ever had. That's the voice of the customer, and you allow me that I repeat this sometimes again here because we are very proud of that. Partnership is something which is important for this program. I mentioned that at the very beginning. The ownership or the shareholdership in our company is, as you can see it here, I do not want to repeat all the percentages, but we have Alenia from Italy, BA Systems from the United Kingdom, EADS CASA from Spain, and EADS Deutschland from Germany. We have also the work share. We have also the development activities in the work share, as you can read it here, organized in major system design responsibilities. Again, I do not want to go through all these lines here. It just should demonstrate to you that this program is really built on partnership. We have single source. And remember what I said at the beginning, it is in principle a poor man's approach, which needs partnership. This is the production work share, what you can see here, slightly different percentages. Regarding the work share among the partners, that is just depending because of the procurement of aircraft, the numbers to be procured by each nation. And you can see here the various major components, as we call them, in colors. The bottom line is single source is based on agreed work shares. Yes, we have that done. And just that you have a yellow wing here, which comes from EADS CASA, and the other wing from Alenia in a different color, is not the explanation why we call our product unstable. It is indeed an unstable aircraft for different reasons, but you can see here what single source in production really means, and we are doing quite well so far. Again, a little bit about the partnership in this program. When we talk about integrated teams, ladies and gentlemen, we have integrated teams. This is not something on paper. We have located teams all over Europe, and now also in Austria, and we will have that in Saudi Arabia. We have integrated teams because of this partnership approach. Transfer of technology is something that is very, very important also here in your country, in India. Transfer of technology is something that we do not have to invent. We live this from the very first moment on. We do not have closed doors or black boxes or source codes where people do not have access belonging to this program. That is not our program approach. We share. We had to do that from the very first moment on. So when we talk about transfer of technologies, it is our daily life. We are used to it. Single source, as I just described it. We have integrated training aids in the same manner as we go for integrated approaches in all the other arenas of our product. And risk and cost sharing. That is inherent in this approach. And the bottom line here is something which I also would like just to exploit a minute. When we talk here about sharing advanced technologies sustains Europe's industrial base, and offers nations a further choice of procurement. What does that mean? As we share all that, we understand all that, our core nations indeed do have an own alternative, and they do not have to buy something what is at the market available without a choice. Yes, it is true that our nations have invested quite some tax money for that. But that was well invested, as they say today, because through this approach there is a real alternative. And that under